This is Defender. Yeah. Under the sun where the hurricanes roar, four teams clash, it's a battle for more. Panthers prowl, Falcons soar, Saints march loud, Bucks hit the floor. Green diamond dreams, southern skies, victory screams, fire in their eyes. Yeah. NFC South, hear the crowd shout, every yard counts, no backing out. NFC South, we wear the crown, kings of the game, never back down. From Carolina's call to Atlanta's flight, New Orleans gold shining through the night. Tampa's cannons boom set the fight alight. Every Sunday, a southern delight. Passion ignites, the rivalries burn. Only one champ each season's turn. Yeah, yeah. NFC South, hear the crowd shout, every yard counts, no backing out. NFC South, we wear the crown, kings of the game, never back down. From Carolina's claw to Atlanta's flight, New Orleans gold shining through the night. Tampa's cannons boom set the fight alight. Every Sunday, a southern delight. Passion ignites, the rivalries burn. Only one champ each season's turn. Yeah, yeah. NFC South, hear the crowd shout, every yard counts, no backing out. NFC South, we wear the crown, kings of the game, never back down. Never back down. Yes.
What's going on, guys? Here we are back with the NFC South Showdown, episode 7. Week 6 is upon us, baby. Tonight we have the Eagles and the Giants. We're recording this episode today, like I said last week. I will be personally in Atlanta for Monday Night Football for the Bills and Falcons game. I cannot wait. So we were doing our predictions early this week. We're probably going to do it again early next week, and then we'll be back to our regular scheduled Saturdays for week 9 or week 8. So let's get into this. A lot happened last week. I got to pull up all that happened last week. I don't even know what the hell happened last week. So let me look at NFL Week 5 scores. Okay, got them all here. All right. This is only specifically for the power rankings. So let's get into, speaking of the power rankings, let's get into them right away. All right, so let's move this camera. Okay, so looking at the power rankings. Let's start off with this. The Rams are moving down a tier. The 49ers are moving up. The Seahawks, we'll get to them in a minute. The Seahawks, we'll keep them there. Vikings get a win, so I'm going to move them up here. Cowboys get a win. They'll move up again. Cardinals are definitely going to move down. Bears didn't play, so they're going to stay. Falcons didn't play, they're going to stay. Broncos are moving up to the top 10, in my opinion, on that huge win against the Eagles. Eagles are going to remain, and Saints are going to move up. Saints are going to move up. Giants are going to move down. Baltimore is going to move down. Titans are going to move up. Titans are going to move up this week. The Browns are going to move up a little bit because they looked really good. So these are three. The Panthers are going to move up because they outplayed. So it's going to be these three teams. These three teams are the worst teams right now, in my opinion. The Giants, the Dolphins, and the Jets this week for the power rankings week 4. Or week 5. So this is what I feel like is good here on the bottom row. This is going to be this row. I think the Patriots are going to move up to the top 15. The Packers are going to stay. The Chargers are going to move down, sadly. The Commanders are going to move up. Colts are going to stay the same because they won. Vikings are going to stay where they're at. Rams are going to move to there. Chiefs are going to move down to the top 20 because they lost to the Jags. And the Jags are going to move up to the top 5. Seahawks are going to, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we got to move a team down. I'm going to move the Seahawks down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're missing a team down here. I'll keep the Cowboys down in 25. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We need one more, right? No, we got 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Commanders had a bigger win. Seahawks, I'm going to take them down a little notch. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So we need one more team. I'm going to move the, you know what? I'm going to move the Titans up to the top 25 because they beat the Cardinals. So this will be, and then obviously I'm moving the Lions, in my opinion, deserve to be 1. 49ers, I think, deserve to be 3. And the Bills are going to swap with the Eagles. The Eagles lost to the Broncos, who are a playoff team last year. The Bills lost to the Patriots. Inexcusable. So this is our power ranking this week. Let's go again. Detroit at 1, Philly at 2, San Francisco at 3, Buffalo at 4, Jaguars at 5, Steelers at 6, Buccaneers at 7, Broncos at 8, Rams at 9, Vikings at 10, Colts at 11, Packers at 12. Actually, you know what? We're going to swap that. Patriots at 12, Packers at 13, Falcons at 14, Commanders at 15, Bears at 16, Texans at 17, Chargers at 18, Chiefs at 19, Seahawks at 20, Bengals at 21, Saints at 22, Cardinals at 23, Cowboys at 24, and Titans at 25. And then finally rounding it out, because the Ravens have been so bad these last 3 weeks, they're sitting in the 26th at 26. The Raiders are at 27. Browns are at 28. Panthers are going to win another win this week, so they move up. They're at 29. Jets are at 30. Dolphins are at 31, and the Giants are sitting at 35 or 32. Actually, you know what? We're going to swap them because the Jets are winless. So the Giants are at 30, Dolphins are at 31, and Jets are at 32. So that will be this week's power rankings. It will more likely change this week because there's going to be a good amount of games happening this week. So let's get into our next segment, shall we? We did it last week. We debuted it. We're back again, baby. The bye week lounge. Today we have 2 teams instead of 4. Next week we have another 2 teams, and then the following week we have 7. It's gonna be a good one. The 2 teams we have today are the Minnesota Vikings and the Houston Texans, both coming off a big win. Both coming off wins last week. One was bigger than the other. I still think if Lamar Jackson's in that game, the Ravens more likely win it, but they don't have Lamar Jackson. But the Texans are now won 2 in a row. They are 2-3, and the season does not look lost. So we'll start with them. Houston goes in their bye week feeling good. They're starting to move the ball. They look good. C.J. Stroud's looking better. The defense is still looking as amazing as it has all year. The Texans are looking to come off the bye after this week to go on a run that gets them to the division. I don't know who they play next week. So they will be playing the Seattle Seahawks next week. That's a huge game on Monday night. The week after that, they play the 49ers. So they have a tough schedule coming up. And then they play the Broncos. Yeah, so they have a very tough schedule. So they got the Jags. So yeah, they got four games in a row that are tough. But right now they're 2-3. They could find themselves again looking out with another 3-game losing streak. But I feel like they will finish the stretch 5-3. I think they're going to win 5 in a row before they lose again. The Texans are just played 2 very good football teams, and the Rams and the Bucks, and they found a way to keep them close. But you know what? They won the 2 games. They lost to the Jags. To be honest, that was a gimme. Anything can go in that game. It's a divisional game, so you can't really fault them for that. And then they won the last 2 games against the Ravens and let me check. Who do they play? Week 4. They played the Titans, which, okay, so those are 2 games they had to win, and they did. They beat the Titans, and they beat a beat-up Ravens team. So we'll continue to see what happens. But now we get on to the Minnesota Vikings, who are 3-2, coming off a big win in London. Back-to-back international games. They lost in Dublin to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They turn around and win this game against the Cleveland Browns, who are starting Dylan Gabriel. Minnesota's 3-2. Their next game, Week 7, will be against the Philadelphia Eagles. Tough schedule. Then they have tough game. Then they have the Chargers on Thursday night. Tough, so short rest. They got to turn around and go against the Chargers. 2 tough games. And then Week 9, they are playing the Lions. Another tough game. Week 10, they are playing the Baltimore Ravens, which shouldn't be too bad unless Lamar Jackson's back. If Lamar Jackson is back, that's a tough game. And then Week 11, they play the Bears, which is another tough game. The Bears aren't going to play them. Then they play the Packers in Week 12. So they have a very tough schedule on the stretch, or in the next few games, next 6-7 games, just like the Houston Texans. So both of these teams on a bye will be coming off their bye, playing against some very good teams. So let's continue to see what they're doing. I think J.J. McCarthy will be back by the time the Vikings play, but do they really want him to play? Or did he play in London? Did he play in London? He might have played in London. Let's double check that. Nope, Carson Wentz played. And Carson Wentz has played really well for the Vikings. So do you go back to J.J. McCarthy? I don't know. So that is it for the bye week lounge we have for this week's. So let's get into the games. Usually we do Thursday night games on the Saturday episode, but I figured since we're recording again before Thursday's game tonight, which, by the way, it is October 9th, 2025. It is a Thursday. Football is back again this week. Week 6 starts tonight at 7. I'm excited for this week. Going to Atlanta. I cannot wait for that Monday night game, win or lose. So let's get into it. We have the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Giants. Let's pull up Jordan's predictions first. Jordan he originally took the Giants, but he is changing his pick. He is going Eagles. He's taking the Eagles here. No, really. I mean, honestly, no surprise here. I'm gonna take the Eagles here as well. Giants have looked good. They look good. They look good against the Cowboys, and they look good against the Chargers. But the team lost some Malik Neighbors, and there's really nothing. It's basically now just Scadaboo. It's Scadaboo and Jackson Dart, and I just can't. And then Cody doesn't have his predictions in yet. He will put his predictions in. I will have them in the description below. Check it out for his predictions. But we're all taking the Eagles. He took the Eagles here for his first pick anyways. So we're all taking the Eagles here for Thursday Night Football. So let's get into the first game of Sunday night, which will be the London game, the second to last London game, I believe. Let me double check that to see. There's one more London game. The Jags actually do have a London game. Okay. So there is one more London game, which is next week. So next week is the last London game. But right now we have the Broncos and the Jets. Honestly, I think Cody's going to pick the Broncos here anyways. So we'll give him that as well. So we'll give him the Broncos here. Jordan is taking the Broncos here as well. The Jets are winning this year. And you know what? I'm going to take the Broncos as well. We're all taking the Broncos here. No surprise. The Jets are not a good football team. So let's move on to the next one. We have the Seahawks and the Jaguars. This one is a good one. The Jags are coming off a huge win on Monday night against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Seahawks are coming off a bad loss to the Buccaneers. I expect Seattle to respond here. And honestly, I'm going to take the Seahawks here. Jordan is taking the Seahawks here. Cody is not picked yet, but you know what? I'm going to throw his pick in, and I think he hates Florida teams, so he's going to take the Seahawks here. He hates the other Florida teams because of the Jags are so close to the Florida Gators. He has taken the Seahawks as well. So here we are. So let's move on to the next game. We have, who is it? The Chargers. Chargers and Dolphins. Chargers are coming off back-to-back losses to the Giants and Commanders. The Commanders really looked like a good team last week because they had Jaden Daniels back. The team looked like they got their swagger back because of Jaden Daniels. So you got to give them props. You can't really blame the Chargers for that loss. They looked good the first two drives, and then they just didn't look good the rest of the way. The Dolphins, on the other hand, what the fuck happened, dude? Dolphins, you're playing the Panthers. I know Atlanta lost the Panthers, but that's a divisional game. Yes, we lost 30-0, but it's a divisional game. Anything can happen. You're playing the Panthers, who got their asses handed to them by the Patriots last week. And then they just completely shit the bed after going up 17-0. Panthers win that game. And you know what? We're all taking it. Cody hasn't picked yet, but he's going to take the Chargers here. Jordan's taking the Chargers. And I'm taking the fucking Chargers. The Dolphins are arguably a worse team, and this could be where Mike McDaniel finally gets fired. But hey, if he gets fired, come on over to Atlanta. We could definitely use him to eventually replace Zach Robinson as our offensive coordinator. So yeah, we're all taking the Chargers here against the Dolphins. So let's move on to the Ravens and the Rams. I think. Hold on. I think the Ravens are the home team. The Ravens are the home team. Okay. So this is where I don't know. This is where Cody. I'm gonna defer with Cody not picking here, but you know what? It's fine. I'm taking the Rams here. The Rams are coming off a huge loss to the 49ers on Thursday night, and the Ravens just don't. They look lost without Lamar Jackson. Uh, Cody's not taking anyone until he gives me his predictions. Like I said, we'll be in the description down below. Jordan, on the other hand, is taking the Rams. No shocker here. And then, like I said, Cody's not taking anyone. So that is our predictions for this game. Let's move on to the next one. We have the Cardinals and the Colts. The Colts are the home team. Cardinals coming off a huge loss to the Titans, and Colts coming off a big win against the Raiders. They dominated that game from start to finish. Actually, no, was that the Raiders that they played? Let me double check. Yes, Colts won 40-6. Indiana Jones is doing his thing. Obviously, this one I think Cody. I got Cody. I'm picking for Cody again here because Cody has picked. He's picked the Colts all year so far. Jordan is taking the Colts as well, and I will take the Colts. I took the upset last week. I felt like Cam Ward was going to get a win against the Cardinals, and he did. But I think the Cardinals are going to be on a free fall again. Free falling! All right, let's move on to our next one. Our next matchup should be the Panthers and the Cowboys. Panthers coming off a huge win against the Panthers. Huge win against the Panthers. Huge win against the Dolphins. Cowboys completely demolished the Jets. I don't trust this Cowboys defense. The Panthers can look like they've been able to move the ball 2 out of the last 3 weeks. Actually, 3 of the last 4 weeks because they moved the ball very well in the second half against the Cardinals. I'm going with the upset here. I think the Panthers beat the Cowboys. Jordan is taking the Cowboys here, and like I said, Cody has not gotten his picks in yet, so I don't know who he's taking in this matchup. But you know what? I'm only assuming the other matchups because I'm thinking like Cody, and that's usually where Cody will go. So let's move on to the next matchup, the second NFC South matchup so far this week. The Saints and the Patriots. Saints coming off a big win against the Giants. Did not look good so far to start, but the Saints rallied together and their defense got them the win. The Patriots coming off a huge win on Sunday night against the Buffalo Bills. Drake May looked amazing. Stephon Diggs looked great as well. The Patriots are coming in flying high, and that's why Jordan thinks the Saints are going to win this game. I think, again, I'm going to assume Cody is going to take the Patriots here because it's the fucking Saints. And I'm going with my gut and saying the Patriots turn around and win again. The Patriots are the better football team. They should win this game. The Patriots will improve to 4-2 and keep it close to Buffalo. It might go down the wire. If Buffalo loses this week and the Patriots win, they'll be tied. And I think the Patriots will actually – no, Buffalo will be in first because they're 2-1. So, actually, no. Yeah, Patriots beat the Dolphins. So, no, the Patriots would be sitting in first. So, yeah, if the Patriots win today and Buffalo win this week and Buffalo loses, the Patriots will be sitting in first place. So, yeah. So let's get into our next prediction. I think this is our last. Was this our last afternoon game? No, our first afternoon game. No, we still got a little bit more. No, this is week 7. I don't know why. Yeah. That's our last evening or more 1 o'clock game. So let's get into our first afternoon game. The Steelers and Browns. We're all taking We're all taking the Steelers here. Dylan Gabriel looked really good. He did look really good against the Vikings. But ultimately, I think the Steelers win here. The Steelers are arguably the best team in the NFC or AFC North, so we're all gonna take the Steelers here. Even though Cody has not picked yet, I'm assuming I'm going off of his knowledge that he is gonna pick the Steelers here. So let's move on to our next prediction: the Titans and Raiders. Raiders coming off a huge loss to the Indiana Jones and the Indianapolis Colts. Titans are coming off a huge win. I predicted this, and you know what? I'm sticking with my gut. I'm going Titans here. The Raiders are not a good football team. They're just bad. I don't know how you don't pick the Titans here. The Titans come off a huge win. They can turn around and get momentum. The Raiders are just not a good football team. Genty could have a really good game, but Geno Smith is going to cost him this game. Jordan is also taking the Titans. He believes in Cam Ward this week. And Cody is probably going to take the Raiders, but he is not picking, so I'm not going to pick for him for this matchup. But yes, me and Jordan are taking the Titans here. The Raiders just did not look good last week. They looked really bad. So let's move on to our next pick. It is the Buccaneers and the 49ers. This is a huge matchup. Jordan is continuing showing his hate. He is taking the 49ers here. It's in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay back-to-back weeks winning with their creamsicle jerseys. They haven't done that since 2009, 2010, with Joshua Freeman as their quarterback. Now they've won back-to-back weeks with the creamsicles. Cody's obviously going to take his team. I don't have to assume here he's going to take his team. I'm actually going to go with the Bucs. I'm going with the Bucs here. 49ers this is where the 49ers get beat down. Their injuries finally come up to catch up to them, and it cost them this game. Ultimately, I do think the Buccaneers are the better team here, but fully healthy, the 49ers are the better team. But because the 49ers are so banged up, I think the Buccaneers will find a way to get a win here. So I'm picking the Bucs. All right, so let's move on to our next, I think, second to last. Our last afternoon game, which is the Green Bay mother-loving Packers. Shout out to you, Tom Grassi. And the kitty goes meow. The Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco gets a shot to beat the Packers again. He's looking to become the first quarterback in NFL history to beat a team twice in the same season with two different teams. Jordan is going Packers here. Obviously, he's going Packers here. Cody is probably going to go Packers here as well, so I'm going to assume he's going Packers here. I'm going to go with the clean sweep. I'm taking the Packers. The Bengals are just not a good football team. Even with Joe Burrow, they're not. Joe Burrow will have to drag this team. They have to weather the storm. If Joe Flacco goes in here and wins this game, they'll be huge for the Bengals because this will allow them to stay afloat until Joe Burrow gets back sometime in December. But we are all taking the Packers here, so let's get into it. Our final game of Sunday. Waiting all day for Sunday night. I know it's very blurry, but it's the best image I could find for Sunday Night Football. I don't have the patience today to make a custom one like I did for the Minnesota and Atlanta game. The Chiefs are playing the Lions. This is going to be a great Sunday night matchup. Last week was great. The week before that, not so much. Actually, no, the week before that was great. The week before that, the last time the Chiefs were on Sunday night was not great. The Falcons-Minnesota game was good for me, but it wasn't good for others. And the Bills, so far the Bills have had the best Sunday night football performances and matchups for so far in the season. You have the Bills and Ravens had a great one. The Packers and Cowboys had a great one. And then last week, the Patriots and the Bills put on a great one as well. Ultimately, right now here, I don't know why Jordan's picking the Chiefs. They did not look good last week. Or Monday night against the Jags. They're playing an even better defense. Cody is obviously going to pick against and I'm going to take the Lions as well. I think the Lions are a better football team here. Just because the Chiefs have Mahomes doesn't mean shit. The Lions have had the Chiefs number 2 since Dan Campbell took over. So I'm taking the Lions here. The Chiefs are just not a good football team right now, and they got to weather the storm. This will be the first time. I think this will be ultimately the first time the Chiefs start 2-4 if they lose this game. So let's get into dun 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 dun. The Monday Night Football doubleheader, starting with my Atlanta Falcons versus the big bad Buffalo Bills. Bills are coming off a huge loss Sunday night. I predicted if they lose the Patriots, they're going to beat us, and I'm sticking with my gut here. But Atlanta's coming off their bye week after a huge win against the Commanders. If the Atlanta Falcons win this game, this will be a statement win, and I think this will catapult them into potentially a long streak of wins because we play a banged-up 49ers team next week. If we can find a way to beat the Bills this week, the Bills are beatable. Let's not deny that. The Bills have looked very vulnerable this year against the Ravens, the Ravens, the Dolphins, and the Saints and the Patriots. They've all looked bad. The only game they looked really good against was the Jets. I expect them to bounce back this week, though. I expect them to go in and have a what's it called, redemption or bounce back kind of week. I'm picking the Bills here. I don't trust the Falcons in this situation. But the last time I said that, Falcons won. The throwbacks, the Falcons did go undefeated last year in throwbacks. Let's see if that continues. Cody's obviously taking the Bills here as well. So we're all going to take the Bills here. Sadly, I don't think Atlanta wins. But every time I picked against Atlanta, they won. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to be at that game. I can't wait. Rise up. All right, let's get into our final game of the week. The the Bears versus all hail the Commanders. The rematch of the Hail Mary game that happened last year is happening on Monday Night Football. And sadly, I think the Bears get revenge. I do. I think the Bears are playing better football right now. And the defense, if they can contain Jaden Daniels, they're going to win. Jordan is taking the Commanders. Cody's not taking anyone until he gives me his predictions. So, yes, that is it. That's all we're taking this week. This is a shorter episode, at least 25 minutes. We will have the predictions for Week 7's Thursday Night Football game on Wednesday night when I come back from Atlanta. I can't wait. This is what I've been waiting for since I bought the tickets last year. I cannot wait. Well, when the schedule came up, I bought the tickets. I am pumped since that new stadium was built in 2017. The fact that it's almost 10 years is crazy. Is that I've been looking forward to going to that stadium. I want to go to the Georgia Dome, but sadly I couldn't make it in time. I was still very young. The last year I was just a freshman I think it was a freshman out of college. Freshman or sophomore. But anyways, yes, I'm looking forward to it. We will have shorts up for that. I will have my reaction as well at the end of the game, how I feel about it. So yes, that is all the time we have for this week. We will see you guys next week. Stay tuned for potentially Sunday's doom and gloom game, or the Saturday night or Sunday's doom and gloom recording of the AL and NLCS predictions. I'm probably gonna predict it. If it ends tonight, I'm gonna predict it Saturday. But if it doesn't end tonight, if the NLDSs don't end tonight, I will predict it Saturday night. Either way, it'll be up on Sunday morning. We will be on our way to Atlanta at the time. We will probably be arriving to Atlanta at that time. So, anyways, stay tuned to what's next for All Sports Podcast. As also at the end of the month, we are debuting the AHL Icebreakers podcast, the brand new podcast family joining, even though it's just going to be me and Jared. So we will see you guys potentially we'll see you guys Sunday for the live stream of the Capitals New York Rangers. I'm out. Raza.